My parents looked me in the eye and handed the multi-million-dollar business I built with my own sweat and blood directly to my golden child sister. They told me I was strong enough to rebuild, while my sister needed the help. They took my clients, my office, and my life work without a single drop of remorse. What they did not realize was that a business is not just a building or a contract list. A business is built on the brain behind it. Exactly 10 years later, my sister walked into the glass headquarters of my brand new international empire, completely unaware that I was the owner who held her financial fate in my hands. I spent 6 years working 18 hours a day to build Apex Marketing from a dusty basement startup into a dominant industry force. I slept on a worn-out couch, skipped family vacations, and poured every single penny of my savings into securing major high-paying clients. My parents never supported my dream in the beginning, calling my ambition reckless and risky. Meanwhile, my younger sister Maya was always the family favorite. She received funded tuition, imported cars, and constant praise, despite never holding a steady job for more than 6 months. When my agency finally crossed $3 million in annual revenue, my parents called an urgent family dinner. I walked into that dinner expecting a celebration of our best quarter yet. Instead, I was met with cold, calculated betrayal. My father sat at the head of the table with a stack of legal transfer documents already drawn up. He calmly informed me that because he had lent me $5,000 in my very first month, he technically considered himself the majority investor. He announced that he was officially transferring complete ownership of Apex Marketing, including all client accounts and operational assets. To Maya, my mother took my hands and told me that I was naturally gifted and capable of starting over from scratch. But poor Maya needed a stable future provided for her. When I fought back and threatened legal action, my father revealed that he had secretly placed the original business registration under his own legal name years ago when I was young and naive. They completely stripped me of my own creation in a single evening. Maya sat across the table with a smug, victorious smile, already boasting about how she was going to run my company. The next morning, security guards escorted me out of the very building I had paid to lease. My parents blocked my calls, telling extended family members that I was greedy and ungrateful for refusing to share my success with my sister. I spent 3 days in complete darkness, paralyzed by the sheer injustice of my own family turning against me. But then, a fierce fire ignited inside my soul. My parents and sister made a fatal mistake. Service model. Within 18 months, Vanguard Global was outpacing my old company. Meanwhile, Maya was destroying Apex Marketing day by day. She fired key employees who knew how to run the software, missed crucial client deadlines, and spent profits on luxury vacations and company cars. Within 3 years, every single one of my original clients had abandoned her and migrated to my new firm voluntarily because of her sheer incompetence. 10 years passed. Vanguard Global became an industry titan with hundreds of employees, occupying the top 3 floors of a premier downtown skyscraper. I maintained a strict policy of low public profile, allowing my executive team to handle public appearances. One morning, my senior HR manager asked me to sit in on a final interview for a critical director position that paid a massive salary. The company applying for a rescue acquisition was bankrupt Apex Marketing, and the applicant desperately needing this job was none other than Maya. When Maya walked into the executive boardroom, she was holding a thick resume, looking stressed and exhausted. She did not recognize me at first, because I was seated near the backlit window. She began her pitch, pleading for the position and admitting that her previous company had completely collapsed due to terrible management. She explained that her parents had lost their home after leveraging it to bail out her failing business. Then I stood up, turned around, and looked her dead in the eye. The color instantly drained from her face. Her hands began to shake violently, and her folder dropped to the polished floor. She stammered my name in absolute terror. I walked over, picked up her resume, and calmly reminded her of the words our parents spoke 10 years ago. I told her that she was right. I was indeed strong enough to build again. But she never had what it takes to hold what was stolen. I denied her application on the spot and watched as security escorted her out of my skyscraper, completing the full circle of justice. Never let anyone convince you that taking your assets can take away your talent. People can steal your ideas, your money, and your hard work, but they can never steal your drive, your intellect, and your resilience. Blood may make you related, but loyalty and respect make you family. When life pushes you down, do not waste your energy seeking immediate revenge. Spend that energy building an undeniable success that speaks so loudly your enemies have no choice but to hear it.